Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Final Destination Bloodlines movie. And you might ask, why should you trust my opinion? Well, if I do say so myself, I have a video right now that almost has 70,000 views. That is a movie review for a movie called Nocturnal Animals. And that review, I formed those opinions when I first saw the movie, so I was probably like 17, 16. So I've always thought of myself as a bit of a movie critic, so that was a nice little ego boost. And I especially like horror movies, but I have rarely ever found one that I actually enjoy. Like when I think about it, like I can't think of one that I liked as much as this one. And it's funny, like I was telling my friend, like it's so funny that this ended up being my favorite horror movie because I always would say like this is like the only one that, I was too scared to watch. It was like too real for me. So usually horror doesn't bother me. I could watch it like right before bed. But just seeing like little clips of the deaths and stuff on Twitter had me terrified. So I should have known that that was a tell that, it might be a really good horror series. But yeah, and I guess I would say Saw is another one. I haven't really seen all of them. I think I've seen like one or two maybe. And I was like, oh, okay, that's like another one that I did like. But this was just such a great experience. And especially, I had never seen 4D before. And that was a game changer. It was so awesome. Like, if a camera flashed in the movie, it flashed on the side. And, like, when they're in the car, your chair is shaking a little bit and you feel like you're in a car. Like, I was so scared. Well, spoiler a little bit, but that there wasn't a car crash scene. I was like, dude, if that happened, I would freak out right now because it feels so real the way the chair shakes you. So it's a lot of fun if you like horror, and honestly, even if you don't, like, I feel like if you closed your eyes at the gory parts, which would be kind of hard because there's a lot, but it was just a very good movie in terms of like pacing, and even just without like the background of the other movies. Some of my friends were talking about how there was just different things that were little callbacks to some of the first or second movies, and this was kind of it all coming together, is my understanding. And I thought it was very well done. It just felt so actually after I saw it, I rewatched, well, I never watched, I watched the first movie for the first time. And I thought it was really good too. It just felt more of like that kind of era of like Scream when the first one came out. It felt kind of like that type of horror flick. And it felt like this was like a modern, very well done, like updated version of it, which I really liked. And I do need to see the rest of them. I have heard some people say their favorites are the first and the second. But I hope they're all, so amazing. So I personally really recommend it, especially as someone like where I have a lot of girlfriends who really like horror. I don't think of it as like a guy thing. So, anyways, I wanted to offer my critique, and I had no criticism. It was overall really amazing, well done. Um, it was able to capture my attention the whole time, which can be hard for me because my ADHD be hitting. But I was, focused in. The chairs really kind of. I feel like if you're neurodivergent, the 4D aspect was kind of fun. Like, and I will say, like, it does splash like a little water at you, but I didn't find it to be like overbearing or overwhelming or anything. It was like the perfect little squirt. And I guess if you're shorter, maybe it would hit you in the face, which maybe would be a problem. But from my 5'4" seated position, it was perfect. Although I had also seen some people who had seen, I think, a pirate movie or something on the water, and it looked hilarious in 4D. I'll add the video so you guys could see. But that was like my like expectation. So seeing that and just imagining like, oh my gosh, this is my first time seeing a horror movie in theater. I don't think I've ever really seen one. Because there's really never been anything that I was like, I want to see this. But when I saw the ratings were so high from the critics and I was just getting like pretty good acclaimed reviews and everything, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna be brave. Like, I'll try out 4D. And I was like, you know what, I could make a hobby out of this. Like, I don't have that many hobbies, but I feel like going to 4D movies just might be my next one, because that was so fun. And especially if you like have a hard time paying attention. And especially if you have a hard time paying attention, like, being thrown in your seat, like, that'll engage you. Like, you will be engaged for sure. So yeah, it was overall just a really fun experience. It was pretty expensive in terms of the 4D. Like, when I saw, so like if you go with like 2 people, it would be like almost $60, which kind of feels extreme, but honestly, like, it really made the experience so fun. And like, even just looking at the movie previews, there was like How to Train Your Dragon, and that was really fun in the little 4D preview. So I made sure to get there early to not miss the previews. But yeah, that, and I think that movie is a good wake-up call. Like, I have been driving kind of dangerous to like make it there on time, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, you know, I have to, it helped me change my ways. Like, I have to drive safer and like be safer. Oh, but yeah, so like some spoilers without it fully being a spoiler, but feel free to, if you want to go in fully blind, feel free to skip this part. But it did like take away my desire, because I had always wanted to stay at the Strat in Vegas, and now I no longer want to do that. I will not be dining in there anymore. Yeah, there's some other just kind of, it just really gets you with like the realistic deaths, in terms of just like it being like things you do, like you drive all the time, or, you know, I don't want to spoil too much about, you know, the scenes, but it was amazing and I had a lot of fun, and I recommend everyone going to see it if you like horror and if you can handle a little gore. I mean, I can be a little, you know, I can have a hard time with it, but I felt like it was all right. Like, I was a lot more scared than, you know, like kind of almost like hiding my eyes, very like squinting. Like, now I would love to go and see it again, honestly. And I did kind of want to, in terms of just having like better notes. So maybe I'll make like a follow-up video, but I did just want to get this video out as soon as possible, since opening weekend just passed, and I did see it Friday actually. So I was mad because supposedly they had little posters they were giving out, but I was too scared to ask. So but anyways, for me, I basically know a movie is good because like I love acting. And when I get that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I want to audition for this when it comes out next, that's how I know something is good. Like, a few times I felt that would be, I did feel that with Euphoria. I know not everyone loved that one, but White Lotus is a little more, I would say, I feel like universally liked and kind of more adult. So people like that. So when I was watching that, I was like, this is something I just want to audition for. I want to be in this. Same with Entourage. I really enjoyed that. I love Vincent Chase. That was such a good series. I wish I could go back and watch it all over again. And Donnie Darko, mostly like Jake Gyllenhaal movies. I'm like, I would love to act in something with him. So that was how I was feeling with this. I was like, oh my gosh, now every time, you know, I hear about like they're making a new one, I would want to audition. So although I would want a cool death, I would not want, you know, a lame death. I would need something fun. So anyways, if you did see the movie, feel free to comment below what you thought of it, your favorite parts, like, subscribe, all of the things, and feel free to check out my other movie reviews, and I'm going to start posting more long form content as well. So please like, subscribe, and let me know what you thought of the movie. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.